Welcome back to AM Northwest. Should you stay or should you leave? Whether it's a job, a relationship, or even where you live, there are signs to consider. Here to help, we welcome back our confidence coach, Laure Redmond. Great to see you, Laure.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Same to you.
You know, I can see where a lot of people are dealing with like relationships, especially in this highly volatile political situation, too. It's been going on for a while. So you say, get quiet and put pen to paper.
Yes, because I think to stay or go is such a big question.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy one, and it never is. But one of these exercises that I find very effective for others and myself is you take out a pen, you take out a paper, and you ask the part of you that wants to leave to tell you why.
Yeah.
And you write the reasons. And then you take a little moment off of that exercise and ask the part of you that wants to stay. What are the reasons? You write that. And there's just something about writing it down that clarifies whether or not one list is stronger than the other, or a third option may come through. But if you don't write it down, there are things you don't realize until you do.
Until you do.
So it's helpful.
I have a friend that had to leave a relationship, and she said she didn't want to leave it for the longest time because she says, well, we've been friends since we were in 3rd grade. As if that was like that was something that was so strong to her. But when you looked at all the other things, nothing seemed to work anymore.
Boy, is that a good point, because I hear often in my practice this dilemma. Do I stay or go?
Right.
We've been dating since high school, but we have kids, but we own a home. There are always these ways that I notice people are the quickest is to avoid leaving because it's hard. But when you do the list, sometimes you realize, whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't see that. And it's helpful to see.
You say there's always a sabbatical. You can take a sabbatical.
Yeah, and for people that are freaked out by the idea of something being over, try the sabbatical, which means that a lot of companies will give you your job back if you take an unpaid leave or a paid leave or a job comparable to the one that you have. You can ask for a sabbatical for health reasons. A lot of times if you take a month away from a relationship, things get a lot more clarified.
Yeah, clear.
And then with a city, if you're dying to move or get out of the place you are, go to the place you think you want to be for 2 weeks for your vacation time or your time off, and really feel what it's like to be there before you vacate your area code.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the fantasy or the imagined circumstances that you'll have if you change something aren't exactly the conditions that exist.
Right.
So just be sure that you give it a little more breathing room to figure out, and a sabbatical approach is a great idea.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially when you're thinking about, I know a lot of people have talked about moving to somewhere else, but have they been there during the worst weather, you know, the worst season of that city, whatever it may be?
I have a
like
client,
summer in Florida. Oh,
yeah, or winter in Vermont.
Exactly.
I have a client who moved to Vermont thinking it would be like Portland. Well, it's not. The winter is different.
Winter is different, for sure. You say do the work on your side of the street. So maybe it's you.
Yeah, this one's a hard one, but it's a good one. It's like there's a inverse reaction to blaming or to taking accountability. Like some people blame everything, everyone, all of the other parts that are not about them. They need more accountability. And other people are a little bit more in that sort of, let me take responsibility for everything, even though my partner is a nightmare. They need to put more blame out there on the other person. So one way to clean up your side of the street is just to look at both blame and accountability with all of the people or the places involved to get a better sense of what part is yours, what part you can control, and what needs a little cleaning.
Right. You say you feel like time to leave is when you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, if you've given it your best. Some people give it years. I don't know with your friend if she's been at this for years.
Yeah.
But if you've been at it, you've cleaned up your side of the street, and you still feel mostly disconnected, highly anxious, depressed, resentful, probably time to make a change because your physical and emotional health takes a toll for that. And you've got to take ownership of your best health. And a lot of this can affect really big parts of your well-being if you've given it all and it's just creating more of that depression or anxiety or
feeling it in your body.
Yeah.
The road of detachment is long. What does that mean exactly?
When you do go, when you do change something in your life, there is a process of detaching from it. And that takes a long time. It's not fast. Right when you leave something, you don't immediately get the freedom of it.
Oh, okay.
It takes a while because you're giving up on a dream, something you thought would have a different outcome. Then all of a sudden you're getting a lot of opinions from people, or you're comparing yourself on social media, but you've had a hard-earned decision that you're going to go.
Right.
And with that, you've got to allow the detachment stages. There are many, and grief is one of them. But don't let that make you second guess what you've worked hard to figure out.
Good point. And joy is a natural outcome.
When you've done the hard work.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you still feel like your stomach is upset, you've got poor digestive signals in your body, you're not really smiling a lot, you're not getting the joy, you don't feel at peace, that is the result of doing this and having the outcome be to stay. Staying is worth joy and peace, and if you're into, you know, other things and it's not working, that's a sign.
That's a sign, a big one.
Yeah.
Laure, thank you so much.
Oh,
Happy Friday.
So good to be with you.